It looks like we're recording. Okay, so in this video what I'm going to show you is a new finish dye color job that I really like and have come to use for a few projects. What I've done is mix the Eco-Flo Hi-Lite stain with a product that has replaced the old X1 dressing, and that is one-step leather dressing by Realeather. Now in my case I have still got some X1 dressing left, and this is actually used here, but the two products are exactly the same, X1 and the one-step leather dressing. So I did some swivel knife cuts, bit of stamping, and down here I've got basket weave that I have dyed with Eco-Flo dye, thinned out one of the tans, Canyon tan I think, just to give it a slight bit of contrast once I put the finish on. So I've got the mixture already made, half highlight stain, half of the X1 dressing, and I will show you. I'm going to do it in sections on this, and I now need to make sure that it's thick enough to get into all those little stamping impressions. That's where I want it, and it needs to stay wet, needs to go on even, like that. I have paper towel handy, and make sure it's even more even with the paper towel. There we go, and it's beautifully darkened the impressions. Okay, now I'll just do a flat area, the bottom and the back of the bag. Now make sure it's well covered and it doesn't dry anywhere, so that it doesn't get streaky. Just make sure it's well covered. Paper towel comes in to play again, and there we go, all nice and even. And lastly, the front part of it. Again, nice and liberal. Make sure all the small indents and impressions gets that dark residue when I wipe off the rest off the top. There we go. Paper towel. Okay, now the reason why I do this is kind of twofold. It thins down the highlight stain somewhat so that I don't get a very dark effect, but also it helps me to get the highlight stain seated or sealed in place. If I just use Hi-Lite stain, it leaves the residue on top of the leather, and then I have to seal it in, which is not a big problem, but it has to be done carefully so that it doesn't at that point turn streaky or anything. So just this makes it easier because the finish is already incorporated in this whole process, and now I can seal it easily with neat lac or any other product that I wish to do the sealing with. So that really makes it easy. I could have resisted this first if I wanted it lighter, but I didn't. I want the enough of a color change. If you can see there what the original color was and what it is now, that is what I still wanted. I did want that color change, so I didn't want to resist it beforehand and just have the impressions darkened. So alright, I'll put this wherever I post it. I will put a few photos of the finished product as well. But it's going to be a bag that has 0 stitching and 0 rivets, nothing. Just leather holding itself together. Have fun with your leather work. I hope this helps.